Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we have to talk to you, Apple users, because be prepared to pay more for subscriptions without your permission on the App Store. Here's what's going on. It's coming from Business Insider India, but when I looked this up on Apple's website, on their developer site, this is actually valid in the United States and everywhere else as well. Here's what's going on. Apple has announced a new subscription policy as part of their new App Store rules. Now, this is a major change, and it's an update to the auto renewal of subscriptions, which will now enable developers to charge more without asking you. Now, currently as it stands, prior to this change, when a developer revises the price of a subscription, customers, meaning you, iPhone or iPad user, are already subscribed to this, and you're informed about this change via email, push notification, or in-app messages. Therefore, customers who wish to continue are required to opt in before the revised price is applied. Now, the subscription is not renewed if customers do not opt in for the new price, saving money for the users who might miss the messages or emails sent by the company or the developer. Now, Apple has claimed that by virtue of that current policy, soon to be changed, that has resulted in services being quote-unquote unintentionally interrupted for users as they are forced to resubscribe. Now, as part of this new subscription policy, under certain conditions with advance notice to users, developers will be able to increase the price of auto-renewable subscriptions without actually asking you or getting your consent. Now, the conditions listed by Apple are simply this. The first one is the price increase shouldn't occur more than once per year, meaning you can't raise the price every month on your users and then they just don't realize this. Also, the second point here is the price increase shouldn't exceed $5 or 50% of the subscription price. For annual subscriptions, and this is the next point, the price increase should not exceed $50 or 50% of the subscription price. And finally, the last point is the price increase should be permissible by local law, meaning if you've got, let's say, a statute in your area, state, country, whatever, that says they can't do that, then the developers cannot. Most everywhere, though, does not have that law. Now, Apple will inform users about the increased prices through email, a notification, or in-app messages. Users will only have to act if they do not wish to continue the subscription, meaning you're going to get that pop-up on your phone, you're going to ignore it or say go away, whatever, or you're going to get an email and it's going to go into that, like, not a spam folder, but kind of like, a non-focused inbox like we have in 365. And there you go. Now, users will be able to cancel their subscriptions if they are not okay with the increased prices. That again assumes that you're going to catch that, on your credit card bill. You go from $20 to $25 a month. It may not be a big thing, but those things add up over time, especially if you have multiple subscriptions. Now, the new subscription policy has no effect on the user's ability to view, manage, or cancel subscriptions, so that doesn't change at all. So feel free to cancel away if you see a rate hike on something you're not even using. Now, you have to note, though, that if the above conditions are not satisfied, the consent of the user will then be required to auto-renew the subscription for the increased price, meaning if you're in one of those jurisdictions that does not allow them to do this, basically the old rules apply to you. And the way Business Insider ends this, Business Insider India, ends this, I think they're absolutely correct. So I quote them verbatim. We feel it would have been better to allow users to opt in for the new subscription policy, as some users might miss the notifications about increased prices sent by Apple and end up paying more than what they agreed to while starting the subscription, and that's exactly the point. The whole point is that we should have to opt in, and by virtue of that, we really basically have then control or agency over this, meaning I would much rather have a subscription be canceled. Let's say, I don't know, Netflix, because everybody has Netflix. It's $20 a month and suddenly it's $50 a month or whatever it is, and let's say I had to opt into that and I totally missed it. I would rather basically have that go down, re-up my subscription, and just hit continue. It's gonna still keep my favorites, still keep my whatever. And so I think that is something that we really have to understand. But I think this is a bad move. I think there are going to be a lot of people that are not going to see these notifications or ignore these. Lord knows I get a ton of communication, pop-ups, emails, texts, smoke signals, you name it. And a lot of it just gets sifted away as I glance over and say, okay, whatever. Oh, it's from this. I get 1 million Apple emails every day, so I'm not going to look at this. And I think that's the problem we're going to see. So heads up, Apple users, you might want to start checking your subscription rates, as a whole bunch of you are about to start paying more without your consent. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where I'm not charging you a thing, so my subscription is free. Same with YouTube, where you should subscribe to me. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.